the Speaker today made a very, very sensational charge saying that there was a plan to physically attack the Prime Minister. This is very serious because this is the Lok Sabha chair actually saying this. Was there a plan to attack the Prime Minister? The Congress has completely rubbished this charge, saying, are you really going to label Congress women MPs as inherently violent? The Congress MPs did gherao the Prime Minister's chair. The Prime Minister was blocked in the Lok Sabha, but now there is this charge that he was going to be attacked, and that's why the speech was cancelled. Take a look. An unprecedented stalling of the Prime Minister in Lok Sabha on Wednesday. Congress women MPs blocking the Prime Minister's chair as he was about to arrive in the House for his address. A day later, a sensational charge by the Lok Sabha Speaker. There was a plan to attack the Prime Minister, he said, and that he advised the Prime Minister not to come to Parliament.
मेरे पास पुख्ता ऐसी जानकारी आई कि कांग्रेस पार्टी के कई सदस्य माननीय प्रधानमंत्री जी के आसन पर पहुंचकर कोई भी अप्रत्याशित घटना कर सकते थे। ये दृश्य मैंने सदन में देखा भी सही। इसको टालने के लिए मैंने माननीय प्रधानमंत्री से आग्रह किया कि उन्हें सदन में नहीं आना चाहिए।
A stunning disclosure and political escalation. A charge roundly rejected by the Congress party.
Absolute lies. It is an absolute lie. There is no question of anybody raising any hands on the Prime Minister, trying to hurt him or any such thing. And I'm sorry, but the Prime Minister is now hiding behind the Speaker. They are making the Speaker say all this.
The Lok Sabha witnessed dramatic scenes as Congress women MPs carrying banners and posters circled the Prime Minister's chair in the House. Congress MPs are Sudha, Jyoti Mani, Varsha Gaikwad, Geniben Thakur, K. Kavya, Shobha Bachav led the charge to block the Prime Minister from speaking.
आपने जो हमें कल रूलिंग दिया, उस रूलिंग में कहा कि मैगजीन नहीं चलेंगे, किताब नहीं चलेंगे, ऑथराइज करना पड़ेगा, तो इनको कब किया? तो उनके ऊपर सख्त कार्रवाई होनी चाहिए, उनको सस्पेंड करना चाहिए, हमारी मांग थी। लेकिन दुर्भाग्यवश 5 बजे तक कोई भी कार्रवाई नहीं हुई। लेकिन 5 बजे प्राइम मिनिस्टर खुद भाषण करने नहीं आए, वो भाग गए, आगे जाके कहीं छुप गए लोगों के अंदर।
As the Prime Minister's speech got cancelled, the BJP fired a salvo at the opposition.
भारतीय संसद के इतिहास में आज तक नहीं हुआ कि प्रधानमंत्री को बोलने से जबरन रोका जाए।
This parliament session has seen the government and opposition relations hit a new low. From personal banter between Rahul Gandhi and Union Minister Ravneet Singh Bittu,
सर थोड़ा आप
to Rahul raising the unpublished book by ex-Army Chief General M.M. Narvane, and the government side's retort with quoting books on the Gandhi family. Parliament has simply failed to function, and the motion of thanks to the President was passed in the Lok Sabha with a voice vote amidst opposition uproar and without the Prime Minister's address. NDTV Bureau Report.
कि उन्हें सदन में नहीं आना चाहिए।
Aparajita Sarangi, your view on this allegation from the Lok Sabha Speaker that the Prime Minister was going to be attacked. This is a very, very serious charge. Rashid also says this requires a full investigation and action if necessary.
I vouch for the statement of Shri Om Birla ji, our Honorable Speaker. I was an eyewitness. Yesterday it happened. Prime Minister had to come to the Lok Sabha to deliver his address at 5 p.m. And just before 5 p.m., about say for 45 minutes, all these women parliamentarians assisted by some others from the opposition, from the Congress, were all huddled together. And they were all talking about some positioning here and there. Immediately 5 minutes before 5 p.m., couple of women gathered around the seat of the Prime Minister, but not just like that. In fact, they had a full banner in their hand with something written on it. And see, Prime Minister always takes a path, a particular path to the seat of the Lok Sabha, which is designated for him. So the way they were standing, it was almost like a blockade. And imagine how could the Prime Minister come and sit in his seat? So there was something very ominous about it. And you know, some unpleasant thing would have happened. Accidents are rare, but they do happen, but it was not supposed to be an accident. It was absolutely pre-planned. I would term it as a conspiracy by the women parliamentarians assisted by others from the opposition. So why did the women parliamentarians of the Congress
I'd like to answer this.
come from the opposition benches and stand around the seat of the Prime Minister? We are part of the treasury benches and there was no need for them to come here. They could have stood there and they could have shown the banner from their own seat. So I think if
I'd like to answer this, Shiv.
there would have been a display of unruly behavior. Yes. So I think whatever Sri Om Birla ji has said, I entirely vouch for it. I entirely agree. There would have been some kind of attack on the PM. I mean, it can't be ruled out.
Rashid,
No,
the Congress has put out formal comment on this, saying that this is a complete exaggeration and it's insulting to women MPs, etc. What are you hearing about what happened?
So, Shiv, here, as I said, it's a very serious matter, grave matter. You understand matters of security, national security, more than me. There is a blue book, there is a protocol, the Prime Minister is a SPG protectee. If there is any kind of threat was there that the chair sensed, and there are marshals in the house, and there is also, security is there. There are all kind of, I don't want to reveal there are a lot of multi-layer, security system is in place in Parliament, in Lok Sabha. Now, this is actually either the chair is expressing its incompetence or mishandling, or it is just a political rhetoric. Because as I said, if a person like a speaker is saying this, then he should substantiate it. And if he failed to act upon, because he's a custodian of the house, the Lok Sabha speaker has a lot of powers, sweeping powers. Therefore,
Aparajita, why doesn't Mr. Om Birla act on this, says Rashid? That's a fair question. If he's saying that the Prime Minister was about to be attacked.
Now, today, here, this moment, the security of Prime Minister, a country that has lost a Prime Minister and a former Prime Minister in act of terror, this is a grave charge and this needs to be substantiated. Or the person who's saying it, whether it is Aparajita ji or Om Birla, must apologize or resign. It's that serious.
Okay, Aparajita Sarangi, would you like to respond to that? That action must be taken, it must be substantiated?
Certainly I will. I will. Shri Om Birla ji is not an ordinary MP of the Lok Sabha. He happens to be the Speaker of the Lok Sabha and, as was said, is the custodian of the House. So any kind of security threat for anybody, so to say, here was the case of Honorable Prime Minister, but any parliamentarian also, I think it is the ultimate responsibility of Shri Om Birla ji. So Om Birla ji, when he said that there was some kind of attack which was kind of anticipated on the Prime Minister, I think we have to understand him and we have to believe him, trust him, because he's the Speaker of the House, none less than the Speaker is saying, and he is saying with a great deal of responsibility. So I think anything would have happened. Why to block the path of the Prime Minister? What for? I mean, what would you do if he wanted to come and sit in the chair? You would have...
I'd like to answer that, Shiv.
Now, while stopping him, there would have been a scuffle. So I think let us think through the whole thing. And Om Birla ji actually requested Honorable Prime Minister not to come, apprehending some kind of unpleasantness, some kind of display of unruly behavior. And it is good that Prime Minister did not come. We were also, for some time, we were quite apprehensive. So I think
I'd like to come into this.
Extremely unfortunate. And to use the women parliamentarians like this is also very unfortunate.
Yeah, Sujata, I'm just coming to you. Syed, quickly.
Yeah, quickly. With all due respect to Aparajita ji, who I've had a great time debating with her. Ma'am, like you are an elected member of parliament, so is Jyoti Mani, so is Varsha Gaikwad ji, and the 4 other member of parliament, women parliamentarians of Congress party. And I can tell you, ma'am, everybody, irrespective of their party lines or their ideologies, has hugest respect for the Prime Minister's office, his chair. I absolutely do not think so. There is even an iota of intent to hurt or harm the Prime Minister. जैसे कि अटल बिहारी वाजपेयी जी ने कहा, मतभेद होना चाहिए, मनभेद नहीं. We could protest, we could disrupt, we could have difference of opinion, but not the differences of heart. Take it from me, all the 543 member of parliament have the best intent for the honorable Prime Minister. We could have differences, ma'am, of opinions, of ideologies, but never a differences so that we would be in any way able to hurt anybody. I think Priyanka Gandhi ji has made it clear, categorically stated that there is absolutely no ill will or an intent to hurt the Prime Minister in any way. This was merely a symbolic protest which was coming through, and that's about it. He is our Prime Minister, ma'am, and we hold him in the highest of respect, and this should be sacrosanct.
Point made, Syed. Sujata, something sinister or just political theatre and drama? I agree with Rashid when he says when something as grave as this is mentioned, you can't just leave it hanging in the air. You have to substantiate it or, retract it. This is a very, very big charge.
No, I agree, but we have to see it with the historical context also. So if you remember, on January 5, 2020, when the PM's convoy was blockaded, near Firozpur, during the Kisan Andolan, all that, these are the similar people, including Priyanka Gandhi and the Punjab Chief Minister, who happened to be the Congress person, he said that no, this is all rubbish charges. Whereas when the committee was set up, the Supreme Court itself, under the Justice Indu Malhotra committee, concluded that it was a major security lapse and anything could have gone wrong there. So you have to see things in a context. So today we are living in a very fragile geopolitical situations also. So you really don't know that the situation and the statement that the Om Birla ji made cannot be just called as a casual or just a political. I am very sure that if he's made such statement, he would have read some precedents, and that is why he advised, because this has happened for the first time. It has never happened in all these years, and I agree with Rashid ji that yes, if the allegations have been levied, it must also be clarified, because it also is a concern for the general masses, general public of India. We are all concerned for the.
I want to ask my last question tonight.
Parliament.
I want to ask my last question tonight on behalf of not just, as a journalist, but also as a citizen of this country who's been watching what's happening in Parliament with a great deal of dismay. The numbers that I told you, 57 crore rupees, may be notional, but they mean something because the public, in their minds, they've gotten used to, they've gotten normalized to disruptions happening in Parliament. But I agree with Syed when he says, matbed nahi hona chahiye, manbed. Matbed ho sakta hai, not manbed. But Aparajita ji, my question to you, since you are the only one among us here who is inside Parliament, what are relations really like, ma'am? Are they as bad as they look from the outside, or do you all get along and there is an opportunity to bridge these gaps and make relations better? Ultimately, we are all part of the same system.
I'm extremely positive about the relationship. We talk a lot among ourselves and we have very good relationship outside the Lok Sabha, and absolutely no reason why we would not come to some kind of understanding. Many things are resolved across the table, so I can really hope and pray that this is resolved. Before that, let me just speak for 30 seconds. It's all a question of arrogance, some kind of adamant behavior, and thinking that whatever I am saying is right, my way or the highway. This is the whole approach. And the LOP saying that, I don't need permission because I'm the leader of opposition in the Lok Sabha, he said 2 days back. I was aghast, I'm a second-time parliamentarian. So this does smack of arrogance. So I think we really need to be humble. But I can only say that we are all very optimistic. Things would improve, and we will be talking to one another, and this stalemate will go. Everything will be resolved, I hope and pray.
I really hope so. Rashid, since you do also have an insider's view, even though I know you're not in Parliament yet, what is your view of whether these relations can be fixed and repaired? They don't look so good right now.
Yeah, I, as a like any concerned citizen and in a democracy, the relation should be and ought to be there. But I see a contradiction in what Aparajita is saying. On the one hand, she is saying everything she hopes, and the other time, you see the nature of allegation. Again, I would come to it. 27 hours have passed since that incident, or so to say, a threat on Prime Minister's a life, was made, or whichever form the threat was, and nobody is acting. To say that, to compare it to the Firozpur incident, I want to know how many people were arrested in that also. So there, you see, the Prime Minister's security is not just a matter of political rhetoric. Either we say that we are saying it for the to make a political point, which is fair enough. But then we should not bring it to this level where you show a very competent government, a government that is very sensitive to security matters, where 27 hours have passed and no action has been taken. And this, I find it baffling. So either, you see, me and Shiv Arun, either we are friends or we are this. So if we are accusing each other of, physically harming one another, we can't be friends. So what Aparajita is saying in some substance is a contradiction.
I'd like to comment on this.
Syed.
Towards the opposition.
On a positive note, because I have to say, I'm quite pleased and quite gratified to hear Aparajita ji say that, she is optimistic about these relations. She is one of the more measured politicians that we have in what is an otherwise very hyper-polarized battlefield that we have become normalized to. Aparajita ji is also, someone who's extremely sober about these things. So it fills us with a lot of hope. Syed, yes.
Absolutely. As a matter of fact, Shiv, I should put this across. I've absolutely enjoyed debating with the likes of Aparajita ji, who I've had great respect for. I've debated with several national spokespersons of parties, but she's one member who's always followed the friendly politics of somebody like Atal Bihari Vajpayee. I wouldn't be surprised if Aparajita ji is friends with Supriya Sule ji or Mahua Moitra.
I'm sure she is. Come on, of course she is friends with all of them.
One more thing. Like Rashid ji, who's seen it, and I really wish to see him as a parliamentarian one day. My friends who are journalists from your industry, Shiv, they've told me that Asaduddin Owaisi sahab gappe ladate hue with members of RSS who are MPs, with members of BJP or MPs, and he's had a great laughter with them. So I think we as politicians of today must understand the golden lines of other.
I'll tell you all a joke, and then I'll let Sujata.
Yeah, go ahead. Like I said, matbhed hona chahiye, manbhed nahi.
I'll tell you all
security of our beautiful country. We must come together in matters of national security and unity. Together we stand, sir. United we stand.
Well said, Syed. Give me the last word, and then I'll let Sujata end. Just on a lighter vein, and Rashid will agree with me on this, especially in these times of social media. All of us friends fight with each other over BJP, Congress, AAP, Samajwadi Party. But all the netas are friends. They attend each other's parties. They go for each other's weddings. They have fun in Central Hall. They have, they go out for dinners together. And we are left fighting with each other saying, ye BJP wala hai, ye Congress wala hai. And the netas are having the last laugh. Sujata, last word to you, 30 seconds.
I really wish you that all the netas become friends, but I would want them to become best friend of the public money. Because it is the taxpayers' money which is getting wasted. They might have a light laugh or share a meal, or they are best friends with
well said.
Whatever, but then it is our taxpayer, our money, our hard-earned money, which is funding them. So they must remember that with great power comes great responsibility and
equal accountability, ma'am. Equal accountability.
Each neta is being watched for what it is doing inside the parliament. Is he raising the question that his janta has voted him for, or is he just doing the rhetoric?
Because I agree.
The digital janta is not keeping it to himself. They will take it when the time comes, and that time is elections, which comes after every 5 years.
Thank you to all of you for joining me. This has been a very candid discussion. I enjoyed it thoroughly. Thank you also especially to Aparajita ji for being such a good sport. She's a member of parliament. She is in the trenches. She's seeing all this firsthand, and she's shared that lovely view with us here. We all hope for it. We hope for accountability. We hope for transparency. We hope for good relations. We hope for politics for the people. Thank you very much to all of you for joining me.
Thank you for having us, Shiv.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much.